Not matter. We are going on to Nuke, third and decider map in this series. And saying that I'm excited would be an understatement. It would be a euphemism. And I was going to ask what are the starting side, and we haven't answered. G2 is going to be on the CT side, Furia on the T side. Last time around, G2 struggled to find solution when they were attacking. Now they get to defend first. Could that be a difference maker?
Amanek already getting aggressive here, trying to find some extra information. Oh, they're waiting for him, but he still delivers the headshot on Hunter. He struck at the same time. Now Furia already down 2-man on the pistol. Push on in's going to start. Nico ready in main. He gets overwhelmed, and they do drop vents, but he's had the information. He knows what's up. He knows what's going down. Kenny's in a beautiful position that might not be checked. You've got one at the top as well. Nexa pushing forward. Needs to be careful. Oh, he gets sideswiped as well. So the advantage is swapped around, but Kenny's position is still not known. They haven't checked it just yet.
Oh, they haven't
but
seen
he
him.
Spots the player. Information had at least here for Kenny.
Oh, no, Kenny!
No, not those kind of misses. That's not what you want to see. It's all falling apart for G2, despite them getting the 2 opening kills. No plant even coming into play just yet, and that is heartbreaking for him.
That's a galactic facepalm right here for Kenny. He had the positioning, but maybe Amanek can save the situation. He's already got 2 kills. He's got no kit to play with, but he's got a USP.
He knows they love to fight there. Maybe he can use that to his advantage.
Oh, but the positioning taken by Ark. It's going to be so hard to check. He's seen him.
Oh.
He's seen him, James. That's information. Amanek finds the first one. Now onto a 1 versus Quesarado. He's got no kits. He's got to play fast. You got to headshot him as quick as you can, or it's going to be over. Playing around the site.
He's run out of bullets.
Quesarado puts him down. That was a 3 versus 5 that Furia just turned around.
Huge for them, but they also nearly gave away a 3v1 there against Amanek.
I guess you're not wrong.
There was a lot of swings in that round. That was a pistol and a half.
Oh, and you got to think about Kenny just biding his time, waiting in the dark corner. He couldn't make it work. Pesky USPs in the back. Sometimes you miss players. The hitboxes being a little bit funky when it comes to the neck. But he should have had that kill, and that would have been a huge difference. G2 refusing to abandon, refusing to capitulate. They're going in for the full force. And Kenny's losing the duel so far. He's been put down to 19. But Furia still have a strict control of the lobby.
They're waiting for Kenny to potentially make a mistake again. Oh, Yuri. Oh, Nico thought he might be able to get the drop on him, but that's not going to be the case. A shot through the smoke will finish off Kenny, and Furia back in control. Hunter could work some magic with a CZ up top. But Furia, they're not making any mistakes thus far.
They are waiting. Pinching the A side ever so slightly. Hunter's being compromised, putting down the smoke, but he's going to have no time to stay alive. Ark cleans him up quite nicely. And now, Nyx and Amanek, they might just be better off saving the little resources they have, moving on to round number 3. I don't see them finding any impact in this round. Feels like Furia's back in control. That gun round, that 3 versus 5 again, I come back to it. That was huge. Unfortunately for Nexa, that is only a scout.
It doesn't do much damage getting tagged up through that.
It's just annoying.
It's just like, I can't move, I'm getting tagged.
And the sound, you're like... You hate to hear it. You hate to see it.
Not if you're a Furia fan.
You know, we talked about Kenny on Inferno, and I do feel like there was a bounce back on Mirage. I have to be honest, he found some of these kills. He won a couple of key duels. And on Nuke, he is going to be tested. He is going to be put to trial.
And we praised them so hard, right? When we first saw Nico and Kenny on Nuke, do you remember how hype it was?
Right.
They were locking it down outside. We were like, okay, this is something to play with. But like you said, it's the growing pains now for this team, right?
And the synergy of that duo you mentioned is going to be key for G2 Esports. Sorry. If they're able to lock down outside, you basically section off a whole part of the tactical tree for Furia.
A huge part.
You know how it is. Skirt attack outside, but the damage isn't really here.
It's so minimal, despite all those grenades.
Hiding behind the box.
CSGO grenades, man.
You know how it is.
They are something else. or not at all anything else. Not a lot of damage comes in. Yuri's on the cleanup duty. They just line up and make it so easy for him. Now, though, this is the real test. This is what we want to see.
Okay, so what's the purchase for Furia? They're going to accept to play with 3 Galils and 2 AKs. I see R dropping a gun. I'm just waiting to see. Okay, so they've switched around, which indicates that he's probably going to run in first and try to find the entry with the AK. I wouldn't be surprised to see Furia with a very quick pace. They've known to do that whenever they feel like they have the pressure going for them. They play as fast as they can. Quick Molotov on top of hut will be thrown out, but these are just precious utility.
Smoke's been put down outside. They want to lock off Nico's position.
Oh, it's a split, James. They're going to go in the smoke. But Nico, I think he knows. Oh, the timing.
You can always know, but it's still Furia. Nico on the edge of it. Here's the utility, goes out, throws down a smoke of his own. Smoke City right now on Nuke. But who's going to pop through the clouds? Oh, from his back being turned. Nico was so focused outside. But Amanek and Kenny, they're looking to bring some kills of their own. They need to do a hell of a lot more, and that's exactly what's taking place. The remaining Furia members are going to run downstairs. But have they done enough in terms of timing to make this happen?
I think they have. And the rotations have been stellar for G2 this entire round. That's the only reason they're still in it. They were in the right place at the right time. Vinny besting next to with the Galil could open up the debate here now. Kenny's just fancying his chances, but should he not? He finds the kill onto Vinny. It's now Amanek versus Henny, but the HP is strongly in his favor.
Amanek should potentially have this. Henny's in a great position. Amanek doesn't check it. And they can grab the AWP if they want as well. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Amanek was pretty sure he was still on the site, maybe towards the back. Or just hiding in the door. But instead, Henny's proactive.
Look at the rotations, James. This entire round, I felt like G2 were in the right place.
Yeah, they were on the money for it.
Kenny was ready to help inside. Even though Furia found 2 opening kills, it didn't matter. Kenny was helping out. But I think Nexa just overstayed his welcome downstairs. He pushed the envelope just a little bit too far, trying to retake side control before Furia planted the C4. And that was their downfall. G2, I think the frustration is kind of balling up right now. They've already let the pistol go away in that 5v3. They must have felt like they had control in this gun round. They have to remain calm. It's a long game. It's a marathon.
Yeah.
Might be down 4-0, but this isn't 2015 Nuke. It's 2020 Nuke. You can come back on the T side.
We're seeing more and more skilled T sides come out from teams. Look over the history of top teams when it comes to this map. Good effort from Amanek on the first kill. Next is going to have to fade away. It's his job to stay alive in this position. Full control will be had by Furia. But there is a gun on the floor now. And Art, he took some damage as well.
Furia have to be careful. G2 already have 2 players downstairs. That's Nex and Nico. Together, they could make a lot of trouble. If Nico's able to fake just a little bit from window or from lab, that could open up an avenue for Nexa, who's going to sneak in the smoke. Oh my, I think that kill from Henny is the trigger they needed to go back on A, but they're doubting, they're second-guessing themselves.
And this is where it gets problematic for Furia. You don't want to be second-guessing yourself in a moment like this, because someone could come in for the side swipe or the backstab. Nexa looking to do some serious damage, and he might be able to find success. Oh, the flashes come out, and it's perfect from Furia. Nico's able to deliver one, but how much more can he get? He's pulling off some incredible heroics, but it's Hunter left alive. He strikes from behind, and this is what they have to be careful of. Art expected, but Hunter wins it out. This is key from the Kovac brothers.
They strike again. They strike again. And Nico found that tiny gap, the one that we are used to see. And I cannot believe teams still fall for that one. If you are not careful with the way you smoke lab, you're going to leave a gap. We see here for Nico, he finds 2 kills, giving time for Hunter to join the party. He was right behind from under heaven, and he strikes in with the CZ and then the AK. That is the bounce back we wanted to see from G2.
And Art was willing to take that fight again. Thought he'd be able to best Hunter coming through the smoke, but Hunter played him in his own game. And this is the start you want to see. Aggression. Oh, Hunter's still doing more. Kenny may fall, but G2 are in the lead. They've got a great shot at this one. So much damage being done, but they can't quite pick up the kill. Henny's there to finish off Nico, though. So while Hunter was doing work elsewhere, they've still put us into a 3 versus 3. There's a flank potentially coming in. And it is expected here.
With Hunter see the bomb. He might overstay. He might overpush just a little bit. I don't think Henny is ready for that angle. Good find from Hunter. Good positioning at that. Now, Yuri and Vinny, they're completely locked down. They know they have players behind them. They're pushed by the time, and Amanek and Hunter combine. Oh, they really want to take the fight.
Really good teamwork. I love that from them. They needed to make something happen. That's exactly what they did. That's 4 kills, sorry, from Hunter in that round.
Hello there.
Don't push me through the smoke.
How you doing?
No, needs to keep his focus in this one. Yeah, now you're going to be on pistol.
Oh my.
Hunter.
Amanek is just playing Counter-Strike on hard level right now.
Hard
Henny
mode activated.
trying to do a little bit better with the AWP, putting down Henny. It's a good kill.
We've all done it before. It happens.
Definitely.
Not the best round to do it on when he softened up against pistols, for sure.
When I played in ESWC 2006, I remember my first kill in the event is a team kill with a grenade. No, it was not a good moment for me.
And at that point, you know you messed up.
It was against Attacks on Inferno. I was really sad about it. But you know who's not sad? It's G2. They have recovered from these 2 silly losses they had in the gun round and the pistol round. And they're looking to make that one clean. Nice and easy. Put some money in the bank. Moving forward into this defensive half.
Hunter ready to continue to frag up on the server. No real problem at all for him to deal with these players. Especially considering Yuri is the only one with armor. Vinny's got sneaky, he's got far, but his position may be checked. Nico's got no idea from down below, and, well, it's instantly as those shots are hit, he starts to realize what's going on around him. So much damage being done. So, not a bad round for Hunter to stab his teammate in the back. Nothing happened before Amanek. He was just chilling.
It could be worse.
Of course we're going to replay it.
You gotta see it.
The faces of reactions like, yeah.
That's when your your team environment is really being tested. You either have someone raging on a TeamSpeak or you just say, sorry, and then they just laugh about it, move on.
I
Furia
hate
now.
myself more than you hate me.
With a huge purchase coming out of Furia. AKs all across the board. They have all the utilities they could ever dream of. And they're looking to pick up the pace. They're sending Yuri alone outside. He's got the forward wall of smoke.
So many smokes. They're ready.
But it's just a fake. It is just Yuri. The rest of the crew is gathering towards A-Ram. And Nexus is about to be tested. He hears the rush, hears them, and repositions.
Henny needs to land. Sorry, Kenny even. There is a Henny on the server. It's a Kenny we're looking at right now with the AWP in hand. That's great from Hunter, though. Still deals away with Yuri, who was the one slipping away.
Oh. What a flick from Art. That was insane. I thought Nexus had it every day.
The utility usage is great here from Furia, giving them the chance to find success in it. Art's tagged up, though, incredibly low, and he goes down to Amanek. This is definitely in G2's favor, but they need to be able to hold on to it. Henny pushed back by the flames. And they just can't find a spot without pressure being applied. G2 have them done and dead to rights. No matter where they turn. That was great.
Great take.
You forced a player into the other teammate of yours in every scenario.
Kenya's holding lab was the absolute play, and you got to think of the clutch this way. Furia have used so many utilities just to throw the first fake in that they lack utilities to close the round. That was the difference. Had they had a couple of smokes more, maybe a Molotov here and there to slow down the retake from G2, that could have been a different story. But they used so many of them just to send Yuri down, which, by the way, was found by Hunter. So that's a huge problem. It was enough to trigger some reaction, but Hunter did find the lurk on that one. But Furia used everything they had just to get through the first step in the round, and then they were lacking the utilities to make it a competitive retake or a competitive bomb plant. Good jump from G2. They're going through the motions right now. They're organizing their retake. They know what they're doing. And even though Nexa was bested by Art at the very beginning, which was surprising to say the least, you can see G2 being unfazed, still calm and collected in their approach and how they want to retake the site. This is a deadly looking G2, James. And I like where this is going for them. Considering they were down 4-0, the way they're winning the rounds right now, they seem to have fully recovered from it.
Yeah, night and day difference in it. Oh, great nade coming out from Hunter, and he just sprays them down. He expects the sneaky push through the smoke, and he's just dispatching of them one at a time. They had no hope. But that was just a little bit too basic from Furia. That's almost like the easiest to predict from them. A move like that.
It goes back to the discussion we had. When you face Furia, you need to stop their A plan. You cannot allow Arc to get away with the aggressive plays because he will just choke you to the end of the game. He will keep up with the pace and he will fake you out but maintaining that rhythm. If you are able to block this first wave, then suddenly rounds look way more doable on the CT side. Here, Hunter doing a great job. But look at this, the kills are too easy.
Yeah.
This is looking bleak now for Furia. They're gonna have to dig deep into the strat book if they want to dig themselves out of that situation, because it is G2 all the way with a 5th round on the board, firmly in control of this 3rd map.
They've got to have some life back in the Furia camp right now because it is not looking good. Even the body language on the cameras. So easy for Hunter in that scenario.
Now, one thing that has worked for Furia in the past, and I don't expect to see it this round, but they've been able to send Yuri down secret, right? So they could actually just use the wall of smoke and send the whole of everyone down there, but that's not their choice right now. Kesarado opened up the debate with a quick kill with the AK. Hunter on top of Hut, he's been instrumental, and he goes on again. 2 kills being found, and he doesn't want to stop. He's sitting in front of the smoke, and he couldn't find more.
It was looking like there might be a chance. Nico goes down, but that's all that's going to happen. As Hunter is there ready and waiting, the spray through the door comes in. No one else goes down, but Hunter expects it. Hunter's ready for it. And Vinny's now all alone.
Hunter is 17-5.
He's feeling it, man.
Did we say it's a good scoreline? 18-5, 10 rounds into the game?
You know, he's just trying to show who's the better one.
You know, I actually talked about it when Nico joined this team. It was one of the interesting narrative is the positive competition that can arise. You know, the emulation that you can have between these two players that have such a unique relationship, such a unique link, right? They could actually boost each other up, trying to make a better player out of the other one. Even if it's just about, I want to be better than you, that's fine for me. It's positive competition.
But that's the interesting thing about it, right? Is before we had that narrative of, oh, which one's the better cousin, right? Always having that conversation. They were on different teams. Now they're on the same team. They can only elevate each other. They've played CS together for a long time. That's my point. Like in a family environment, right? In a friendly pug environment. Now you put them on the same team to see what damage they can do. It doesn't matter which one pops off. One of them's going to be able to do it.
Okay, so this is the adjustment from Furia. They're playing with the wall of smoke again, but this time is to take garage control. There's no CT on site to punish them. It's going to be Nico playing from under heaven. He does have a couple of duels in probably 10 to 15 seconds. Henny is just making sure no one is peeking from Monster. And he's right. Kenyas is in position if need be. First kill being found. That's Hunter on the ground. Such a massive player so far. Nico's playing on the edge of the smoke. He's going to be the next one to fall or the next one to make the difference.
I don't think he expects Art to be so close. He may now see him, sees him jump up, but instantly Yuri's there for the refrag. Now Kenny, stuck on site, worried about being overwhelmed. They're going to sell this distraction. They're going to sell this fake as much as possible. Because right now, Furia have so much map control, they can go wherever the hell they want.
The last time they were in such a position, they played the clock too much. They were pressured by the time, and then they couldn't stand. But here, finding a never so important kill. That is next side. That's the ramp player. They should know. They will probably play the B side. That's exactly what they're doing, because they can deduct by killing Nexa here that the B side should be open. Amanek should be able to remove Kesarado, but it is still a very favorable 3v2.
This gives Amanek a huge opportunity, though. Vinny goes to pre-fire the vents, but will at least give away his position on where he might be coming from. Yuri, you're tempting fate jumping around like that. There's 2 players in the door, little do you know. And he's looking directly on it, and he takes down Kenny. Nice stuff. Much better round from Furia. Good adjustment. They didn't just try to go down to the lower bomb site. They took full yard control.
It was more of a deeper approach this time for Furia. They play with the Volo smoke that they have used already 3 or 4 times, but this time to send a squad towards garage. Good trading game as well from Yuri. That kill meant everything for them. And once they have control, they punish the aggression from Nexa, and then they play the B-bomb side. That, to me, is a round they can recreate. It's a blueprint they can find. They can play around the wall of smoke, not only to fake out, but to drag out the rounds, to create opportunities.
Kenny now back outside, though. He wants to find his own openings. Some nades coming out towards him. He's going to be pushed back as there's a lot of smokes as well going down. Hunter's still the thing they have not really had a solution for. They got away with it on the previous round. Oh, they snuck on by. Nico activates onto him. Nates didn't expect it. Hunter's there as well as they try to push out the door, but that seemed like a disconnected push.
Flashes were missing. Either flashes were missing or some part of the protocol wasn't respected, because all these kills were looking way too easy for G2, as this round will probably come to an end unless Henny can pull some kind of miracle. And it starts to look like that. Hunter will put an end to the madness. 21st kill by Hunter, by the way. But if you look at Nico and Hunter, both players finding kills on unsuspecting opponents, right? Completely oblivious to any kind of danger. So well, I'm not sure, was a flash missing somewhere?
No, so look at this, right? So Yuri goes across, there's smoke in front of it, Nico's in main. Even Nico doesn't expect it, so he then just gets the kill, but Yuri wasn't looking at him. Then, after Yuri died, they pushed through door. If anything, they should have gone together, right, if they want to do that crunch.
I think they were surprised by Nico's position. They hadn't really expected it. It's a good job from G2 to stabilize early on. As soon as they lose one round, they bounce back from it. And Kenny playing at the edge of the smokes now. We see Device do that a lot. Playing behind that garage smoke, trying to find a way in. But he's completely boxed in. That, again, is a new approach from Furia. This time around with the wall of smoke, but 4 players lurking, going down. And we can see on the minimap, unfortunately for them, it's been red by G2. It's been completely red, but this kill could change everything. This could trigger some sort of reaction, because at the moment, Hunter and Nexa both are ready to fight the B side. Nico finding the kill onto Yuri, puts pressure onto Furia to play the B side.
And Hunter's already down there. Guitar, who wants to play some sneaky games. Oh, he doesn't expect Amanek. He doesn't check behind him, and that's his own mistake being made. Now they've got some time to play off of here, because Amanek will need to come down and back Nico up. They start to come through the door in case Arado, he's ready and waiting for it. And this is the problem. Nico didn't wait for Amanek, so now you've given it a 1v1. Now you're in a 2v1, Amanek's all alone.
And he's got no idea where Henny is. He's got an idea about Kesrado, but he's looking for Henny. He's scanning, turning left and right. Head on a swivel, finds the first one, but Henny strikes in. Good trading game, good spacing between the two. Henny just waiting for the right timing to pounce. Another good round from Furia. And it started well for G2 as well. Nico finding the kill onto Yuri. You could see the reaction. It forced Furia to play, but they used the Mac-10 to great avail.
But it's also very back and forth in these rounds now, and this is not going to benefit the CT side. We're getting to the last few rounds at least, but how good was G2's bank?
I'm not exactly sure. Judging by the back and forth, I don't think they can have such a strong buy moving into this
We got a tactical timeout from G2.
It's an interesting timing. But that's the first one they use. So I agree with you. They're going to have a dire situation, financially speaking, so might as well take the time to discuss what are the options. Furia now, they've done enough to keep G2 in the dark. They've had different approaches to rounds. They're not one-dimensional anymore. Oh, it's not the last round, actually. I thought it was the last round. My bad. They have still 2 rounds. So very clearly, they're going to decide to full force at the last second in this round. Okay. That has to be a pre-planned call, though. They were just talking about it, and then they went on with the purchase at the very end. Good start from Kenny. Finding Yuri. And this is the adjustment. This right here is the adjustment. But he's burning. Oh, the sound cue was huge. Nico was completely invisible when Kenny strikes back. Finally coming alive just a little bit. He's been quiet in this series. He's seen Kesarado but cannot adjust. And we see the reaction. Hunter's down there, but he's got a UMP, James.
A UMP at distance. If there's one man that can do it, though, it's a Hunter who is feeling it. 22 for 7. Oh, he's found a timing. He's found a window. Kenny made some noise and backed away. Art wants to clear out all the angles. Oh, this could be huge. He's not even going to go up the ladder just yet. He's going to poke into ramp. Kenny is so unexpecting in this. First one found. Doesn't go to challenge into the second, but he knows where to expect it. Flash going to go out. Art knows he's forced him into hiding. Doesn't expect him so close and nearly wins that one out as well. But Nexa, 34 health on a dream. The spray down Nexa's still doing it all.
Huge kill.
This is now all up to Henny in a 1v2. If they play together this time, this should be G2 getting it on the board. But Nexa, he's quite far forward on this. He doesn't expect the door push behind him. He waits for the sound cue, but he cannot react in time. It's an 8th round for G2. And even with not so much of an ideal buy, they still get it done. It wasn't a bad one, but it was still a huge round that they needed.
And Nexa finding the second kill onto Quesarado was a turning point. It started with Kenny finally punishing the space that Furia has been taking outside. It's one of the only rounds he's came alive, and here Nexa, that duel. Alec just bounced at the right time. You could see Henny, even though he's fast, not fast enough. G2 onto 8 now. They could be looking at a 9-6 scoreline, which would be decent. I'm not going to get too excited about it. I think they've just done enough to fight back.
(9-6) would be real good here for G2. Though it was an 11-4 CT side from Furia last time around, but this kind of performance from G2 might be what they needed, the confidence coming out. Nexa will lose ramp, but he sprays them down. He does a nice bit of damage as Yuri, he's just fragging up Kenny down to 18 health through the smoke.
Oh, I'm
not letting go of him.
Quesarado has taken a lot of space.
Oh, Hunter has no idea either.
No, he doesn't. But how can Quesarado exploit his position?
Yeah, that's the hard one. They're still checking into window as well, so Hunter will be looked at here. Nicely done from Hunter. Still got a good amount of health to play with here. Yuri's made a lot of noise, and there's a player who will now be flanking him. Quesarado wants to try and play something here. He wants to make an opening. Oh, and he might be able to sneak through. They may not expect him that close. And they can hear the footsteps of Vinny as Quesarado. Oh, he is just on them. Left, right, and center. They will not expect his position, most likely. He's easily able to dispatch of Hunter, and this puts it into a very winnable situation, especially with that molly going down. Amanek's going to have to come up huge, but will there even be an opening from him here? All the players are tucked away. They're hidden, but he might be able to just creep in. The flashes go out. Quesarado starts to spam it up, but Kenny is so low. He goes out for the challenge, but the doors are broken, and Yuri's able to do a bit of a double team with it. They've kept him so busy. Amanek strikes, and this is the key moment they need to finish off of here. Shots being hit, lots of damage delivered, but no round, no kills coming in. Now into the 1v1, and Vinny gets it done. An 8-7 first half, as close as you like. G2 have the edge as we go into the second half, but Furia now move to their CT side, and G2 will have to regroup. Let's see what happens after the break.
Pull out my silencer.
I actually cannot play without it.
I have a turn bind, plus left and plus right. To be honest, quite useless.
I guess it's mouse 3 and mouse 4 on the thumb. I turn left and right with this. I got the pain in my arm when playing too much because I had so low sense. So now every time I turn a corner, I press the key. So I do it every time, every corner I take, every game.
If I'm scoped up with the AWP and I really need to turn around fast, I can use the turn bind rather than like swiping my mouse.
I'm still playing in MRO input 0. A lot of players just went into 1. It just feels like a habit. I can't really explain why. The second thing is I have actually 2 binds for the volume. One being my in-game volume and one cut the in-game volume. I like to do that for the first time when we are talking together to be sure that I'm fully focused about what they are saying and I don't have all these in-game sounds, you know, at the first time when you are playing and stuff like this.
The only thing I do when I start the game is to push high on my keyboard and it literally exec my auto-exec.
I have a binding on mouse 5 where I disable my right click. So whenever I start the pistol round, I just press it so I can't pull out my silencer. Because it happened many times, so I just avoid it now.
Okay, I have some CSGO binds. C for the radar, so it goes more huge or more small. And that's it.
I have unbinded my Q button because I sometimes press it instead of W, so I switch weapon when I'm walking.
I walk on V and not on shift like everyone else. Other than that, I'm a pretty normal player, I guess.
I
walk on control and duck on shift instead of the other way around. The reason behind that is because my big brother had these settings and we only had one computer back in the day, so as soon as he moved to the toilet or whatever, I played on that computer and that's how I got used to it.
Yes, I guess I have one strange mind, and it's actually to AWP. I press key just once and it actually goes to the knife and back to the AWP, so it's like a out switch or fast switch. I actually cannot play without it.
This is the fight we wanted to see from both teams. We are 8-7 in favor of G2 after the first half. G2 were on their CT side and Hunter was popping off. He was locking it down and playing oh so well. But Furia found a way. They started to get creative. We started to see a bit of that Furia magic come into play. Now on their CT side, they need to deliver in a big way against the G2, who are certainly not sleeping.
G2 were in control in that second half, but this could change very quickly. We know Furia to be a momentum-based team.
Oh. Poke going out. Not many shots connected here for Quesarado, and he can get swarmed very easily. Look how fast G2 are trying to get up high. They're being very careful of Secret, and I would be too. Yuri wants to try and pop up it. One player looking out towards it is Amanek in the back lines, and he instantly deals with it. Amanek, Mr. Consistent, the one you can always rely on, and he's been having a great game so far. Furia down, but they were also down in the previous pistol as well.
That was a 3v5. It was a 3v5, but with the positions they have right now, I struggle to see how they can fight back. Feels like G2 have a firm grip on this round. Quesarado with the USP is not able to work any magic. Kenias will put him down. And the A side is under a lot of trouble. It's all on to Vinny, and don't get me wrong, I highly rate Vinny as a player.
He'd have
this
to
might
double
just be
his
too
kills
much.
in this game.
It's going to be too much. He can find a kill too here. That's the first kill. Good trading from G2. I like the approach. Very obnoxious towards outside, right? All these players playing under heaven, on top of heaven, and then once you have taken it, you know that there is a high chance that the CTs will try and retake some information. That's exactly what happened with Amanek. He waits for Yuri, finds the kill, and then Kenias can just punish under heaven. Good round from G2. Perfect start.
Now, when we look at this, it's how much G2 can get going. Because last time we saw, what was it, 4-0 lead?
It was 4-0.
Furia, and it took them a while to come back into it, and they only ended up with 7. If G2 can gain a nice bit of room here, it could be huge. Vinny, there's a lot of nade damage being done. There's a lot more damage coming out towards them all here. G2 have been softened up, and these pistols can put in some work now.
There's already 2 players downstairs. Art finding the first one. Then Yuri becomes invisible, strikes in with the 5-7. Not able to connect so far, and Art is playing the edge.
No, this is huge. Yuri's even taking down some more players. Art delivers the headshot to Nico. It's all falling apart. The nade may be a team nade, but Amanek is all alone. 34 health and a Mac 10 in his hands. He's got to go up against the Scout, a 5-7 and a Deagle. He upgrades to the Galil, but he has to check every corner. He has no information. He is so confused and left all alone as his teammates fell before he could even get into the site.
He's got 55 seconds to play with, but the bomb makes him vulnerable.
Yeah.
The fact that the bomb is on the ground, on the side, doesn't give him much leeway. Right now, he's just hoping that someone from Furia will make a mistake. Someone will get curious, will need to check what's happening. But if that's not the case, with 34 HP, I don't see how it's doable, James. He's going to sneak in, take the bomb, but there's so much more to do.
And I like this. At least he's going on the hunt rather than trying to just pick up the gun. Pick up the bomb. It's not going to work out for him. Penny was there ready and waiting. Only took one more kill. But he played that to perfection. This next kill was normal, but look at this. Just strikes while the iron's hot. And then even gets the kill onto Hunter.
He finds
the teammate may come, the teammate may come in, but it doesn't even matter. Furia pull off the force round, and now we've got a real fight on our hands because G2 have got a decision to make. No plant in that round either, just to be clear.
No. And if you think about Counter-Strike and the mechanics behind the money, that's the worst case scenario. Winning the pistol, being reset behind it with no bomb plant. You are back to 1400, but Nico doesn't care. He's going straight in with the deagle. Art, he's found an angle. One kill onto Kenny, yes, but now he's surrounded. Can he takes another one with him? Jumping around smokes, hiding, being his lonely self. And how is he still alive? He's maneuvering everyone.
Oh, you got played at your own game. Maybe you played yourself a little bit as well. Some players are low, but Henny needs to be careful as well. He doesn't want to give this away, and players are pushing on his position. He falls back just a little bit here. He throws the smoke out. He knows he needs that cover. He needs some backup as well. Pressure being applied. Oh, the sneak underneath, and he'll never expect it.
It's beautiful from Amanek. There's no way they know.
They're double doing it.
This is so pristine from G2. That's any out the picture now. That all come in magic. But do they know how many players are playing under heaven? Amanek's just waiting for another punish, and it's all falling apart for Furia.
And G2 can just take their time for a little bit here. See what else they can get into it. They're in a great position.
Yeah, Furia have made a choice. They have decided to let Quesararo alone handle the B-bomb site, and unfortunately for them, that's going to be the wrong call in terms of positioning. Quesararo with the M4 could still come clutch. 20 seconds on the ground. Think about the bomb going down. That could mean everything. If he finds them with a nice timing and he cleans them up, line him up, that is it. There is no way Amanek can fight back into this round. Furia stabilizes.
That was scary, though.
It was.
100% scary. Art looked like he was going to play it brilliantly, but then they played him in his own game, back and forthing through the smoke. But this was so nice from Quesarado. The timing worked out. He checked on it. Yuri was there as well.
That was just a half buy. G2 have no money to play with. Man, this is so hurtful. To lose that second round without planting the bomb on the T side. That's it. You gotta have to take the L.
And they really felt like they're going to get the plant down in this previous round as well. If they ended up losing the force, it looked like, oh, we got an open site. No problem at all. We 200 IQ'd them. But it didn't come through. Art, again, does want the challenge, but he needs to be careful. There's a player right above him. Nice.
Art's taking a lot of liberty, right?
Yeah.
He's taking a lot of freedom in this anti-pistol round. And now Henny's been punished. That's an M4 on the ground, but he's too far away. Yurik could just act as a fail-safe for this M4. Make sure no one gets it.
So Quesararo is now taking main. Art is going to go all the way around and come up secret. Art is so active once again. Quesararo can sell some sort of a distraction. That may work out even better for him as well.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Art retaking information. That's exactly what's happening. Yeah. He's cleaning outside completely, so now they know. Either G2 went back inside or ramp. These are the two options. This is why you see Vinny repositioning towards ramp. He's going to beat it. That's a late Molotov. Not going to have the damage he wanted, but he lines them up with the Galil. 2.5 kills for Vinny.
That's what you want to see. They're going to try and isolate Yuri a bit here, but he easily lands that headshot. Amanek won't have a chance of getting the plant down. Now they've got money in it for sure, and Vinny's got a big smile on his face, and that's a scary man to go up against. We said about it in the interviews. When you see them in a good spot, when you see them all confident, you see them animated, that's when you know you don't want to be testing a team like Furia. G2 now need to put up their biggest fight with this one. No sniper in play. Henny's got his outside. But Henny has been forced off a position just off the back of pistols here. So he might need to be careful how he approaches this as well.
Now he's got the sniper to play with. So it's a little bit of a different ball game. Art will be flirting with the limits as much as he can outside. But for G2, this is just a ruse. They have no intention to play outside. Not in the first 30 seconds at least. They just have Kenny as on top of Silo, trying to punish Art in his endeavors. But don't be fooled. This is not where they want to play.
No one's going to make any mistakes just yet for Furia. G2 getting themselves set up. But look at the reaction from Furia. Okay, Quesarado is a little bit stuck. He can't move just yet. But he's not been forced off the spot. The kills are going to go their way. They try and bust their way through the door, but it's not going to work. Quesarado and Yuri locking down the A site. Comfortable as you like as well.
They have to be mindful of the flanks now. It's Kenny from Mini and his Hunter from Ramp. If Furia's in position, in place with the protocols, that should be okay. This round should be under control, but we've seen worse happen. We've seen rounds fall out of their control. Hey, high five. How you doing, mate? It's been a while.
Oh, we're completely clear. Okay, let's try go up high.
But see, Vinny is ready for that.
Oh,
Vinny is
yes.
only covering that angle. Lower check from Kenny S. Not able to see him. Oh, that should have been an easy kill, but Hunter. Best Vinny. Good trade from Henny, and Kenny has been spotted. It's been running around. That should be it.
He goes out to his doom, he goes out to his death, and this is now where it gets scary for G2, that Fury are building up a bank. They're keeping multiple players alive in these kind of rounds.
So there was one situation that troubled me, right? This kill from Quesarado. G2 had used their Molotov wave, if I can name it like that. They've used all the Molotovs they had to clear on top of hut. There was a little bit of a gap on which Quesarado stayed, right?
Yeah.
But what I don't understand is the timing of the attack for G2. And I'm not sure if I should credit Furia because of the utility they used to slow them down,
okay,
or if it's just G2 trying to play too smart of a game, trying to hit with a 400 IQ 2-wave on the A side. Because Quesarado, once the Molotov is out, then he can do whatever he wants. He can just stay behind or stay on top of hut. So not exactly sure if G2 played themselves.
A side push coming in. Nex is going to start off with one, but look at this, he's doing more damage as well. The Tech-9s are wrecking face, and Nexa with an M4 in his hand is looking to live out the dream. Nico finishes it off, and Jesus, Furia could not stop that rush. They did not know what hit them. Art went down 2 seconds too early, and G2 exploded onto the site.
They were waiting for it. They were waiting for that rotation. You could see they were behind the door, and I think as soon as they hear Hart hit the ground, they just rush outside window, rush outside door with the Tech-9s, overtaking the site quite quickly. And now for Furia, this is terrible. They have an AWP on Henny, they have an AUG on Art, and a FAMAS on Yuri. The rest are pistols. That's make or break. And Art, well, he don't break. He stays in the smoke. He plays around it. And as Art he is, he refuses to go back, and he goes for a second, but he's traded.
Sometimes Art just needs to bounce back a bit once he gets that initial kill. He hangs around, and G2, well, they're well aware of it. They're not changing up the game that much. But for G2, they can fall back on this. They've got the advantage technically when they want to push into sites, as long as they push together, as long as they play as a team.
If G2 are able to make sure Art doesn't get away with 2, but always is traded outside, then that's going to open up the map all the time.
Yeah.
They are more than happy for that trade. They're happy to trade 1-for-1. That forced the defense to completely stretch around the map, whereas they can just gather up, play the numbers game on any position they want. Right now, Fury are playing with 2 players inside, which are going to get faked, and it's all going to be onto Henny with the AWP. He misses the first shot, repositions, good adjustment onto Hunter, running back now. He's got to live.
And he is going to live because G2 aren't going to pressure the issue just yet. Again, though, they've got full map control, but they don't have the numbers this time around. Quesarado hasn't popped outside to even try and grab the weapon off Art's body. But Amanek and Nexa, look where they've got. They could open up this site in just a few seconds if it's a mistake made by any of the Furia players. No one's looking at main. Yuri, he goes down straight away. This is an angle you should be checking. You should have this information. They swarm onto the site, and they easy dispatch of all the players that come their way. Kenny alone, and he can just save this AWP because he doesn't want to fight into this. There's no chance with it, and G2 are going to grab an 11th.
This is a reference clutch for G2. The way they outmaneuvered, they were out of a 3v4. It was stellar. I'm not exactly sure why Furia stayed with 2 players downstairs for so long. You could see maybe they just accepted the fact that their rotation would be cut off, and they prayed that they had the right gamble. But that shouldn't be the case. When you're in a 4v3 like that, you should be playing it safe, playing in the numbers game. And G2, they dig themselves out of a very scary situation. I think they have broken Furia. I think that's the end of the finances for the Brazilians.
Yeah, wasn't much in that
Yuri's
round.
got no idea. Yuri's got no idea, which is why. Look at all these kills. The only actual duel, the only actual 50-50 duel is Amanek at the very end. That's the only 50-50 duel they have. The rest is just straight up outplaying.
You can see the frustration on the faces from the Furia players. And it's just USPs, nothing else in this one. A cheeky Zeus coming out from Art. And of course he's going to go for something like that. Henny just spotting for information outside. And for Furia, it's the risk versus reward, and we talk about it's their playstyle, it's what they want to do. Yuri still gets checked, even though Hunter escaped to past him.
Great from G2. They have everyone in the right position. Hunter should find a second kill as well. He doesn't realize Henny's not under him.
Hunter's like, what is going on?
Somehow,
where
Henny's
are
been
these players?
allowed to stay alive for way longer than I expected. If he finds that kill, that could be great, but just damage inflicted onto Hunter and Nico. Leaving now Art alone with the USP. Not much to do, not much to dream. Maybe a Zeus, that would make me happy. I always like that noise. It's my favorite noise.
Oh, surely.
Just
Nico's checking. Nico's being careful. And the Zeus will not find any success. Neither will Furia, though. Henny got away with murder because no one really checked his position. No one knew where it was coming from. But overall, G2 have the lead. Now they've got money.
Timeout. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That is a key round in the game if I've ever seen one. And for Furia, you have to rethink the approach towards the Art. Anytime Art has tried to be aggressive, he paid the price with a 1-for-1 trade, which it's not viable on the CT side. You cannot accept to have a 1v1 trade all the time. But G2, the way they approach outside, they're very hard to read. So I think that's why you see Art actually pushing the envelope. He just wants to make sure what's happening because they don't know.
Yeah.
G2, they keep them in the dark.
The fear of the unknown.
Right.
Problematic for the brain.
And they're trying to be proactive, trying to find the answer, find the information. But G2, they've been on top of things outside. So Furia have to find a way to remain 5 alive for the longest time possible. Force G2 to close these rounds. But it's easier said than done. It's a half purchase coming out of Furia, and I like it.
They want to be stacked up, yeah.
If they lose it, they have a good buy round next. If they win it, it's all cash, all bonus.
These are the make or break rounds. And also, if they lose it, give G2 a 2-round lead. It has been close, but G2 are just looking so much better now. They're looking like they've got the magic key, solving what's been thrown at them here from the Furia side.
Ooh, Art for an opening and Vinny as well. Now they know lobby has been abandoned. They can reposition. They shouldn't stick around. G2 is not going to fight back for lobby. They're going to take the rest of the map control they can have, which is towards outside.
Taking little pieces step by step. That's what G2 have been doing. It's calculation. Oh, this is where it can get dangerous. Henny at some distance with the Mag 7, though. Doesn't wait for him to come around the corner. Trying to bait him out. Oh, okay.
But do they know about Art? I don't think they do.
No.
And they double back.
That's smart, though.
There's a mind game in the game right now if you're Furia. Because you have 3 players downstairs and it's being cleared by Art. You need to reposition now. The timings, it's everything. Who's going to be in what position? Yuri is... Oh, wait a minute, but Nico is already there.
How did he get there? That's huge for Nico. That could be what seals the deal for them. The rest of the A site seems clear to G2. There's one player hiding in hut. Vinny tries to sneak up high. Henny goes down as well. Art all alone with an AK in his hand. There wasn't much time, but G2 played that to perfection. They used the time as their weapon, as their advantage, and Nico was able to sneak upstairs.
He found them a way out. He found them a safe way out, a safe haven to survive in this round because it looked dire. Had G2 tried to burst that B-bomb site, that would have been it. I think Furia had enough bodies, enough resources to stop them. But because Nico takes the map, the space, and he takes the map control, he allows them to pull back. Huge round. Nico might be at the bottom of the stat right now with 13-18, but he saved them in that round. And now it's all or nothing for Furia. We had that talk about G2 on the second map. We thought that was it. They were backs against the wall. Well, this time they are controlling the situation. Furia haven't really been able to stop them on their defensive side. I talked about the fact that Furia sometimes looks scary on the T side and they're on the CT side. They like to be able to dictate the pace, not to be the victim of it. But in their effort to try and take control, they've given away way too many kills. So Art, if you're hearing me right now, try and stay alive. Don't go for the 1-for-1 trade. G2, they've been exploiting it time and time again.
Art has that self-belief and that huge amount of confidence that comes out in his gameplay. This time around, he's not going for the challenge. Nico's got space outside. But you still have to respect the smokes. You still have to respect what Furia can throw at you at any point in the game. Dominic slowly clearing ramp.
Vinny's been boosted towards A ramp. Towards ramp, sorry. So if they go to ramp, that could be a key position. All he would need is Henny to put some backup. It's going to be an A fake, a little bit of pressure from G2, but it's all going to come down to Vinny. Can he find more than one kill from his key position? He's being hard checked and the spray won't come through. Henny able to strike back. That's a trade 1-for-1, but ramp has fallen. And G2 can make their way to the B-bomb side if they want to, but there's a committee waiting for them. It's Art and Yuri together.
They need to land some key shots. The spray comes out. He's only getting one, and Nexa is forcing his way through all of it. Oh, this is not good.
That's it.
K-Serrano doesn't have a chance.
It's over, and it's beautiful from G2. This round again, you could see how Furia are one step behind. Henny is not in a position to help Vinny when he's on top of the box. That is the setup you want to have. Whenever you feel like ramp will be the point of attack, you need to have two players here, helping each other out, baiting each other out. Had Henny been there 1 or 2 seconds before, just taking the first shot, maybe Vinny makes two. But sometimes it's also just about kills, and Vinny doesn't connect on that one. That's a huge kill from Amanek.
And Vinny's just not been having a great game in general. He has been struggling.
Look at that second shot. That's the money shot. That is the money shot from Nexa. Furia had 2 players already on the B-bomb side. This could all fall apart, James. They looked so in control on Mirage. They let it slip away. And now they're facing a ticket basically to the lower bracket, which isn't too bad, but not a place you want to be.
Any part of any bracket in this tournament is not a place you want to be.
Yeah, but if just the sun feels a bit better in the winner bracket. That's my point. Oh, okay. We're thinking purchases for Furia.
Double
AWP setup.
An auto shotty.
Deagles and MP9.
Okay.
Now we're getting creative.
This is a Furious special. And Art wants to give it some welly early on in the round once again. A mistake can be made very close to him. He's checking up high. Brilliant stuff from Nico. Finishes off Art before he can even react. He was too busy looking on top of the silo. Kenny was waiting, but not waiting for Art. That was Nico. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. And now we're sat in G2 looking to grab their 15.
And now they wait. Now they wait, James. Because they've found that kind of success all across the round in this second half. They've found a kill or the trade and they've just waited. Waited. Be patient. You know, Furia, they cannot be sitting comfortably right now. So they'll have to make a choice. They'll have to push eventually. Gamble aside. So if you're G2, you have nothing to lose just waiting. A little bit of pressure utility just to see if that triggers any move. But it's just a pressure. That's all it is.
Now, Henny might try and turn this around. Nico's picked up his orb. Henny's going to reposition, though. And doesn't want to fight from up high anymore. The cousins together. Out in main, but Hunter made a noise and Henny was ready and waiting for it. Ideally, that wasn't going to be the case for him. G2 were going to find a way in. Nexa now looking for the next opening.
20 seconds.
Time is not on their side. No, I didn't even notice. They are pressured on this round.
Ooh, Nexa. He's been a key element, and I think he found the timing. He found the gap, and he could find Henny, and this is all falling apart again for Furia. They had it in their hands, and the bomb plan's gonna come through. G2 saving another one of these scenarios. I cannot believe how many times they have turned around these clutches. Sometimes from Nico, sometimes from Nexa, but Furia, they just let it slip away. Huge round from G2 again.
Too many of these rounds, Furia have had advantages in and they've not followed basic protocols. They've not had each part of the map covered. They've allowed people to sneak in. So much focus from Yuri with that auto shotgun to stay within the hut area. Henny was looking out towards main. No one had door covered. Nexa sneaks on through, not sleeps.
He definitely not slept in that round. I'm not exactly sure where the smoke was coming from, because you could see Nexa, he used the smoke to sneak in between hut and site, and I'm not exactly sure who put down that smoke. I don't know if it was Henny, or Yuri. That's the entry frag. Here, that move comes everything, man. Finding Henny. That smoke right here. I do not know who threw it. I'm a little bit confused with that one. But it doesn't matter. If we're being honest, G2 have been the better team in this mid-round, late rounds decision, right? The way they have outmaneuvered Furia. When the clock was coming down to 20-25 seconds, there was always someone finding some sort of timing, finding an opening, and then all the pieces were just coming together like a beautiful puzzle.
The puzzle of Furia is a mysterious one.
The puzzle of life.
Is a confusing one. And Hunter, well, he slowed down in the second half, but he's still doing more than enough for his team here.
This would be a reference win for G2. If you think about the fact that they have been battered on the first map, they were on the cusp of breaking out on Mirage, they fought back, and now they are in the lead on Nuke. These are the series that gives you confidence in your lineup. These are the times that make you believe you can bounce back from any situation. This is fuel for the future if you are G2, now that they have decided what lineup they're going to use. And again, the story of this second half is about Art trying to have impact, trying to find kills, and being punished every single time. G2 have neutralized him at every single turn.
But a team should not live and die on that hill, right? Yes, we speak about what Furia do and how they play around Art, but you need a second or third string to this idea. And that just hasn't been shown. Right now, we're looking at G2 to take the series off the back of this, and this nuke was stellar. 8-7 at the first half.
Oh, the timing. Oh, Vinny doesn't see Nico coming. Left-eyed peek. And that is it. G2, they have their way into the side, James. That could be it. It's a 5v3 now, and the bomb side has fallen. Hunter putting Kisserado on the ground. Only Henny. Don't get me wrong, he's been stellar so far, and he continues to do so, but it might just be too much.
It really is too much.
He's alone now. They've done it.
1v4. Henny
going back to A.
He's great, but this is too much to ask. And Nexa, he's playing it cheeky, wanting to flank around. And he can just wait. He knows Henny's probably going to come from this position.
Henny doesn't even know where the bomb is landed.
He's got no idea, no information. He's going to get pushed. He might get poked. Hunter delivers the final kill. It's an easy win. It's an easy wrap-up for G2 in the end on Nuke. But the series in general was a banger. It was one that provided for both sides at different parts within the game. But Furia fell short on Nuke. They go down to the lower bracket, and G2 move on in the upper.
It was an amazing series. You said it, James, and we cannot take it away from G2 that they have played this mid-round and these late rounds beautifully.
Yeah.
The way they maneuvered their way outside